these teams.
What more excitable at Eastlands tonight?
Both with a proud history.
Hope everyone's ready for a huge occasion in Manchester.
A city divided.
You do get the feeling that City feel that this is their time. We can expect helter-skelter, fast and furious for the first few minutes.
Oh, it's a bit special, but it's always special. It's like any derby, but Manchester particularly is a special one.
So the only question is it blue or is it red?
Mr. Young, he's hitting well. Fisted down by Van der Sar.
Manchester United, and basically because they're local, they're quite close to where I live.
City. Just I've grown up supporting City through my dad since I was a young lad, and probably went to my first game as about 4 or 5, and since then really I've just carried on.
Grew up supporting City. They're the best club in Manchester, the only club in Manchester, and they've got a lot of character and personality. I love following them day in, day out, up and down, roller coaster ride of fun, enjoyment, fans are good.
Just everything about the atmosphere here is incredible, and no, I absolutely love it. Some of the times I've been up here, I was here up here for some absolutely amazing games.
I was given the option the moment I was born. I was taken into my father's arms, and he said to me, "Son, you can choose blue or you can choose red." Apparently, when I was 6 minutes old, I chose blue, and it was the best decision I've ever made.
Well, first of all, for me, I'm Man City supporter because I come from Manchester. Like I say, I've been brought up probably less than half a mile away from here in Old Trafford, but I knew when I was a young lad, red wasn't the colour for me.
The atmosphere between the two clubs and the rivalry's always been phenomenal. But you've always had two decent sets of fans. But they like to have a bit of banter. But it doesn't go too far, it's okay, they're okay.
For over 130 years, these two teams and their supporters have gone to battle. A contest dominated in recent times by United, and one that attracts worldwide interest.
Some people live football, breathe football. There's a very famous poster at United. It says United, kids, wife, in that order. And it's a lot of people, it is that important. To me, it's more a leisure thing. I go to the game to enjoy the game, and it's luckily I've seen a lot of success. For a lot of old people, it is their life.
The seasons separate sporting codes, but in this community, football is a way of life and an all-year proposition.
I've got a substantial number of rugby league teams, rugby union, athletics of course. It may be different in the Olympic year, but at the moment we're running at 3/4 of our 16 pages or so that are simply City United.
Because it's important. Football is passion, and if it goes bad, it affects you.
So it's a must that we win today, and if they don't, I won't enjoy my supper tonight.
People of Manchester are generally working class people who are into football, but football's evolved now. It's much more for everybody, men, women, every single person has an interest in football. So a lot of conversations begin with talk about football, City or United, and the banter that goes on between the two teams, rather than the weather, which used to always dominate our thoughts.
Manchester is a city moving with the times. This once major player of the Industrial Revolution now has a vibrant art scene and two of the best football teams in the world. Plenty to keep a population of just 500,000 occupied.
It does a lot. I mean, when you think of the days and the nights it gives youngsters to go out and enjoy themselves, where would they go without football? I mean, they get 50,000 at Main Road, or City's ground now, not Main Road, it's a new one. 75,000 here. Where would, and a lot of those are teenage lads, and it gives them an interest. Gives them an interest in life, and they look forward to it. It really influences them. A lot of them, they live for the football games, and so it's good. They'd be lost without it.
And the influence of these two teams in the community is felt at all levels.
With City and United both, selling out as they basically do each week, more people watch football in Manchester than any other European city. So it's fantastic news for Manchester. I work in the Manchester business community, and the money that it brings in to the city is fantastic. The profile for the city is fantastic.
While Manchester United has been the more successful of the two clubs over the years, local media show no bias.
Get accused of being biased towards City or biased towards United. Sometimes they have successive phone calls with people accusing me of that. It's just total nonsense. Sometimes we balance it by number of pages, column inches, photographs to make sure that the coverage is absolutely balanced. We're the only paper that have always given City substantial coverage. Every paper in the land and beyond covers United in detail. We're the only paper that's stuck with City, basically because of the fan base, and given them 4 and 5 pages, just like United, even when City were in the doldrums.
But after years of United dominance, City is now a force to be reckoned with.
I think United fans would be pleased to an extent that at least they don't have to travel to Liverpool for the biggest rivals. They've made the Premier League much more interesting. It's not a top 4 anymore. There's top 5 or 6 teams if you count Tottenham as well.
I think now, especially because obviously we've been through the lower leagues and we've come up, there's always been, I don't think a hint of jealousy, but there's always been that arrogance that City don't like about United. Especially now that we're on the up as well. I think it's going to get even bigger and it's going to get even feistier, I think.
Well, it's been a bit one-sided for 20 years, not 30 or 4 years, but 20 years, and they've always looked down upon us. And now we're at the top table, they're starting to fear us a bit more.
Manchester United have been better than City for about 20, 30 years now, but now City are actually a lot better team.
No longer the noisy neighbours. Even Sir Alex Ferguson this week referred to them as competitors.
And there's nothing better, I'm telling you, when you're wearing a City shirt and United are at home and I live in Old Trafford and I can go into a chippy and order what I want in a City shirt and know that they're scared of me for the first time. You have a conversation with United fans these days, they don't talk about United, they talk about City because we're a threat. Because we're a threat for once.
The Manchester Rivalry, a battle that never disappoints.
Walking around the town centre and stuff, just wearing this is almost like an inflammatory sort of gesture. Like I get grief from United fans, and I will on the way home tonight. And I remember a few weeks ago getting grief off United fans and stuff like that. But it gives it an energy and gives it a buzz and gives it a kind of, I don't know, just more of a tension, more of an excitement. Whereas if we had no football here, we wouldn't have that. So gives everyone something to talk about. Everyone's something to row over, everyone's something to have a laugh and a drink over.